they will be destroyed. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is His representative on earth. Abdul Muttalib said to Abraha, the camels are mine, the Kaaba belongs to Allah. Allah will take care of His own house. And subhanAllah, He does. And no one can mess with it. Trust me, even those who pretend to be Khadim al-Haramain today, they are temporal beings who will fly away in no time. You watch. You will see when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala brings the representatives, you will see where the truth lies. But in the meantime, what is our obligation? So burning the Kaaba can lead to that, while the very people who are the army of supposed Muslims are burning the very house of Allah, they can justify that their leadership is right. Why? They went ahead of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They put leaders in the wrong positions, and Allah is showing us historically. Watch, when you disobey Allah, when you disobey the Prophet, then your leader will come and he will tell you to burn your own house. He'll tell you to give up Islam. Just like Muawiyah tried to take the pulpit of the Holy Prophet. He saw people holding on to the pulpit of the Prophet because they loved the Prophet so much that after his departure from this earth, they used to hang around the pulpit, remembering the Prophet. They used to sit around the pulpit, discussing all the great hadith that the Prophet left them with. He said, this is too much of a remembrance. They remember this man too much. He even put his name in the adhan. They say Abu Sufyan used to kick the grave of Hamza. He said, this man, when he would hear the adhan, he said, this man even put his name in the adhan. Allah says, أَلَمْ نَشْرَحْ لَكَ صَدْرَكَ وَوَضَعْنَا عَنْكَ وَزْرَكَ الَّذِي أَنْقَضَ ظَهْرَكَ وَرَفَعْنَا لَكَ ذِكْرَكَ فَإِنَّ مَعَ الْعُسْرِ يُسْرًا. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, this was a heavy burden on you, O my messenger. Alam nashrah, did we not expand for you your chest? Did we not give you this great, momentous moment to carry this deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to its completion? And we raised your name. وَرَفَعْنَا لَكَ ذِكْرًا. We raised your name, brothers and sisters. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us a lesson that you want your name to be raised. Who here doesn't want their names to be raised? Raise your hands. Impossible. Not a single person. We all want our names to be raised. We want to leave a legacy behind. We want to die with a legacy. We want our children to remember us, not even by name, but at least by principles, that generations down, when our grandchildren are great representatives on earth, someone can say his great-grandfather or his great-great-grandfather was a great man who established this pathway. That the effects, the fruits of his labor are being seen today for the greatness that this person has done. Isn't this a great thing? That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala raises our names. And even if the world doesn't mention our names, for it's not important to be mentioned. Trust me, it's not. For if it was, many a good companions of the Holy Prophet's names would have been plastered on earth, all over, even in the skies. But the Quran even says it's not important. Abu Dhar al-Ghafari. Abu Dhar dies in the desert, alone. No one to bury him. Besides, Allah sends, Hujr ibn Adi and Malik al-Ashtar to come and bury him. Otherwise, there was nobody to bury him. Exiled by who? The third caliph. Who was this Abu Dhar? One of the first followers of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in Mecca, who would boldly say, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammad Rasul. That this is the man who gets exiled within a short time of the Prophet's departure, that he's not even allowed to die as a Muslim in the Muslim lands, and he's buried in a desert. What does it tell us about our authority and our leadership? What does it tell us about our future in Islam? That within a short time you cannot counter the status of Abu Dhar. That he dies in the desert. Who took him to the desert? People like Muawiyah, who told the caliph of the time, send him out, he talks too much, he's challenging my authority. This is Islam for some people to say radiallahu anh to Muawiyah? Can we dare on Judgment Day stand to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, says, oh Allah, I upheld the hands of Muawiyah because he was a Khalifa? Is this Islam? Allah said, لا تقدموا بين يدي الله ورسوله. It's a very simple message to us all as Muslims. I don't care what school of thought we belong to. Our obligation is to think of Rasulullah. لَقَدْ كَانَ لَكُمْ فِي رَسُولِ اللَّهِ أُسْوَةٌ حَسَنَةٌ. If we reflect on the Prophet every day, and we fall in love with the Prophet the way we should fall in love, when we see Ahlul Bayt and we fall in love with Ahlul Bayt, I am telling you and me, when we look at our children, we will compare them to the Ahlul Bayt. We'll say, you know what, my daughter, you want to go out without this hijab. I am sorry. I need you to love the role models. Then go out with that love. You are loving somebody else. You have fallen in love with the wrong kind of people. You have fallen in love with the very people who will take you nowhere but to destruction. That you find Miss USA gets a title in our community and some people are clapping and says, wow, what a great representation. Miss USA caught with drinking under the influence. That's not the representation, brothers and sisters. I'm not belittling anybody. I'm simply saying there's a difference in role modelship. We have to look at this carefully, and I'm going to conclude here very briefly on this issue. Look how Allah shows us respect. And I'm going to end. You find that the next verse, يَا أَيُّهَا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا لَا تَرْفَعُوا أَصْوَاتَكُمْ فَوْقَ صَوْتِ النَّبِيِّ وَلَا تَجْهَرُوا لَهُ بِالْقَوْلِ كَجَهْرِ بَعْضِكُمْ لِبَعْضٍ أَنْ تَحْبَطَ أَعْمَالُكُمْ وَأَنْتُمْ لَا تَشْعُرُونَ. I want you to ponder on this for a moment in this month of Ramadan. Allah says, O you who believe, do not raise your voices above that of the Prophet. لا ترفعوا أصواتكم فوق صوت النبي. Wow, what does it apply to me today? I don't have the Prophet. How do I know his voice? Allah is giving me a moral lesson. He says that if you are disrespectful to the Prophet, and how do I know you're disrespectful? See, if, for example, a great scholar is sitting in my presence, and I say, wow, you are a great scholar. I admire you. I honor you. I revere you. I follow everything you say. Now take that, amplify it thousands of times more. That's the Prophet. You take all our maraji put together, all the great human beings on earth put together, put them in a room, find the greatest humans on earth, put them in a room. On one side is the Prophet. He outweighs all of them. But let's take, for example, just a regular human being. And while that person is standing next to me, I ignore him and I raise my voice with someone else and I'm having an argument. You don't have to ask me, what's your iman with regards to this man? Do you like him? I don't have to tell you anything. I just told you I don't respect this man. Because you would never, by any standards, whether it's in Islam or outside, by any human standards, you cannot raise your voice. Why is Allah exposing this? Say, even to the level of raising your voice in front of the Prophet, you have lost focus of your deen. Brothers and sisters, in the 21st century, we say, Ashhadu anna Muhammad Rasulullah, yet we don't even ponder that is my way within conformity, even at the level of respecting him, that Allah is showing me that when he was alive, if anybody dared to raise their voice in front of the Prophet, it was an indicator that you did not believe in the Prophet as your Rasul. And what does Allah say? If you do, what happens to your a'mal? He says, we wipe it out. Your good deeds are wiped out. وَأَنْتُمْ لَا تَشْعُرُونَ. And you don't even see. On Judgment Day, you will say, but I did this. I fought in all these battles, O Prophet. I freed all these slaves. I did all these good deeds. Like people say today. What about this person? He did so many good deeds. 1, 2, 3, 4. I said, yeah, but what about that deed? You forgot to counterbalance with that deed. It's all it takes. Remember, Shaitan worshipped Allah for thousands of years. Logically, rationally saying, for thousands of years, come on Allah, don't you think you're a bit harsh on him? Okay, so you refuse to bow to Adam. Big deal. You can't put 6,000 years of worship with one transaction. Allah says, you forgot my principles. That those 6,000 years actually were not for me. For as you grew older, if you could reject me after 6,000 years, what was the value of your 6,000 years of worship? So let's not get fooled into thinking, this one was good, this one was good. All you need to is to calculate, did he do a bad one? Really bad one? And they raise their voices in front of the Prophet? Finished. May Allah give us the tawfiq, inshallah, we'll talk about this. Our obligation today is the same. Same. If you and I don't put him central, where our conversation should be central. And I end with this. Many times you've come and asked me, brother, is it halal to do that? Is it haram to do that? What do you think? What's the fatwa of that marja? What's the fatwa of this marja? I said, we'll go there. But before we go there, I want to ask you. It's a very genuine question. I said, sure. I said, could you see your Prophet doing it? And the child says, no. I said, you didn't hesitate? He said, no, I didn't hesitate. I said, then you don't need a fatwa. You don't need a fatwa. What's a fatwa? A fatwa of a marja is going to come on the same grounds. You think the marja is oblivious of that fact? You, a modern child, cannot see the Prophet doing that. Now, isn't it better to be precautionary and avoid it? Why do you ask me that? SubhanAllah, we have forgotten the Prophet. Would you see our daughters doing this? Would you see our women doing this? Would you see the family of Ahlul Bayt doing it? Many a time Shaitan whispers in our ears, yeah, but they're Ahlul Bayt, they're so great. But that's precisely the point. If they weren't, they're not worth your following. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. ربنا اغفر لنا ولإخواننا الذين سبقونا بالإيمان ولا تجعل في قلوبنا غلا للذين آمنوا ربنا إنك رؤوف رحيم وآخر الدعوان الحمد لله رب العالمين. May Allah give us the tawfiq, inshallah, to reflect carefully, inshallah, in this blessed month of Ramadan, that we say, oh Allah, I'm not worthy of being the footprint of the Holy Prophet, walking on his footprint, but Allah, let me smell their fragrance. Let me merge into them. Let me get so close that I long to see them on Judgment Day. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.